because it sounds better when I write it down. But anyway, the reason I started doing these leadership training courses is we're going to grow. We're going to grow,
Praise God.
and therefore, as leaders, we must grow. I've come to believe, and this, I don't know why it took me so long to figure this out, there's a direct correlation between us growing as leaders and the growth of the congregation. Think of it this way, as we all grow personally and collectively in our personal development, we together form a much larger net for the kingdom of God. The more we have to offer, the better we are, the more we can give to people. I'm convinced that God sends people to places where they can be helped. We are that place and we are that people. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. Never stop developing. A lot of times, as people get settled in life, they stop learning. And the moment they stop learning, they stop growing. The moment we stop learning as Christians, we stop growing. I don't want this to sound like a negative statement, but the church has got to change. The church as we know it has to change. This model is failing across America. I don't care, you can tell me about this mega church doing this and that. America is in decline. Christianity is in serious decline. It's been for the last 20 years. If we keep going this way, we're going to be Europe. So the church has to change. We have to develop new ways of reaching people. It's the same message. The message don't change. The way we deliver that message has to change. We're not talking to people. We're not talking to Judeo-Christian people anymore. When we grew up in our society, when we were in school, our kids, everybody knew something about church. Most people went to some kind of church, or at least had been to church. That's not true anymore. There's people right here in what we call, quote, the Bible Belt, that's never been to a church house in their life. Jesus is Santa Claus. I mean, they don't know who Jesus is. And we have to develop ourselves and change the way we do things and grow if we're going to be able to minister to those people. Okay? This class will be held once a month on the third Sunday of the month. The class will be ongoing, so we don't have to load you down with tons of information in any given month. I'd much rather we take one thought, or maybe two, and ingrain it in our minds and put it into immediate action than just give information that becomes clutter in our lives. Although we will, from time to time, deal with the aesthetics of the meeting, we are much more concerned with our internal responses to external situations and people. By people, I mean one another's leaders and those we are serving. Now, we want to develop culture in our church. Everything that's happened up to this point, it's happened, it's in the past. But we want to develop a culture moving forward. And, you know, we hear that a lot, especially in sports metaphors today. You know, teams, the new coach comes in, he tries to develop a culture. What does a culture do? Let me give you a definition of culture. The Webster Dictionary defines culture as the beliefs, customs, arts, particular society, group, place, or time. I like this part. This definition is what we'll work with, the fourth one. It's a way of thinking, behaving, or working that exists in a place or organization. In other words, once a culture is developed, when other people come in, they're immediately, the culture is going to impact them. They don't impact the culture. If there's no culture, then one person can come in and impact the whole church, you know, negatively or positively. But if a culture's set, then this is the culture. In other words, when we have a culture set here, when people come in, this is the way we do things. This is how we think. This is how we behave. This is how we work. This is how we operate. And that's a good thing. Now, our culture is going to be defined in 4 words. Okay? Love. That's got to be the number one thing we do. We have to love. We have to learn to not just love in word, but we have to love in deed. You know, we've got to get this love off the pages of the Bible and get it in action.
Amen.
I mean, when people come into our house, they should feel love.
Amen.
They should feel, you know, these people, you know, I may not agree with everything they're saying, I may not understand the way they worship, I may not understand this, but I felt something in there. And that's going to be love. So we have to develop a culture of love, that we're going to love people. You know, if they come in, if they're rich, we'll love them. If they're poor, we're going to love them. If they're black, we're going to love them. If they're white, we're going to love them. If they're smart, we're going to love them. If they're dumb, we're going to love them. We're going to love everybody. The other one is acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean that we agree with your lifestyle. But it means that if you take the time to drive from wherever you drive to, and you come into this house, we're going to accept you as a person that needs Jesus, or a person looking for Jesus, or a person that at least you showed up in this house. We're going to love you, and we're going to accept you where you're at. You know, don't mean that you're going to get to stay there, but we're going to accept where you're at. We don't get to pick and choose the people that come to us, do we? Right? But we want to accept them. I mean, if we accept people, then we've got a starting point. They know, okay, they accepted me, they didn't reject me. We live in a society where people are expecting to be rejected. A lot of them wear their feelings on their sleeve. They want to be rejected. Well, you know how the best way to deal with people like that? Don't give them what they want. Accept them. They don't know what to do with that. And we have to do that. The third thing, so what we got? We got two cultures, two things going on in our culture. We got love, we got acceptance. The other one is safety. We're going to make this a safe place. The body has to minister. Today, you know, we're not trying to change the church overnight, but we're steadily implementing things toward the body. The body does the ministry. The days of me calling you out and doing all that and Wade doing all that's got to stop. I mean, we're never going to equip the saints. You're not going to be equipped by information. You get equipped by doing, by learning how to do it. And the only way you're going to learn how to do it is by getting out of those pews and going up. How many of you enjoy ministering to people today? Even if it was just a word of encouragement, somebody look at you in the eye and tell you they believe.
Right.
You know, you may have not seen something, but I looked at some people. That meant something to some people. Some people might have been a little bit quirky, but some people need that. They need that human contact. Plus, when we get outside the pews and we start ministering one to another, we get to know each other. And this is going to be a safe place. When I say safe, it means it's safe here to make a mistake. You know, if you get a word of knowledge and you miss it, big deal. You fell off a bicycle the first time you rode it. You know, you make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. If it's a big one, you know what? We'll correct it. We'll fix it. If it's a small one, guess what? We'll overlook it. Maybe somebody slide and say, you know, you probably want to do it this way a little bit next time. But it's no big deal. We want to be safe here. We want to, by safety, I also mean we're safe by protecting each other. We protect one another. You know, if somebody makes a mistake, we're not going to point them out. You know, and say, oh, they made a mistake. You know what? I'd rather say we made a mistake than they made a mistake. It's we, okay? And then unity. I think we've come a long way in unity. We want to be one in this house. We want to come next week. We're probably going to teach a message about, you know, we talked about one mind today. And then on the way up here, I was thinking about all the times in the Bible it said that church was with one mind. Church had one mind. That's a beautiful thing. One mind is when you're in unity and one accord. They were together with one mind and one accord. Do you know we can corporately come with one mind? Man, when we get there, it's going to be hard to stop. So I'm just going to go through these. By love, I simply mean we love others, and we love others as we are loved, unconditionally. By acceptance, I mean we accept people as they are, how they are, and where they are, with the understanding that if change needs to occur in their lives, the great Holy Spirit is the change agent. How many of you figured out you really can't change anybody? It's got to be God. By safety, I mean this is a safe house. You are safe in failing. You can fail when you are trying something new. You will not be rejected. You are safe here because we will protect you. If you make a mistake, you will not be singled out. We succeed as a team and we fail as a team. It is never you messed up. The culture is we all messed up. Okay? We got to develop that culture. How many of you, like when you were kids growing up, hated when somebody went, he did it. You know? No, it's not. That can't happen in church anymore. Those days are gone. You know, we succeed together. You know, and if we make a mistake, we all make it. You know, we cover each other. That goes back to what the first thing is, love. Love covers. By unity, I mean we allow nothing or no one to come between us. We never talk about each other, but only to each other. We never allow others to criticize one of us, and we never criticize each other to others. The worst thing you can do, especially with people that don't go to your church, is hear them run your church down. I mean, they're not going to come. Why would they come? They get that in the world. And we're not doing that here now. I don't believe we do that here now. But we don't want to never do that. We want to establish that as a culture, that when people come, you know, because people are going to come from other churches. Here, And that was the culture in their church. And what are they going to do as soon as they get here? They're going to want to start doing it here. And we just let them know we don't do that here. That's all it takes. One person with courage to say, you know what? That's just not, we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't talk about each other. We don't put each other down. You know, we don't hear about what somebody in your other church did. That's just not, that's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for us. You know, if you didn't like that church and you felt God led you here, that's great. But don't run that church down. We don't want to put their church down, the church they came from. So we want to establish that. How many of you believe we can establish those four things?
Yes.
That's not that hard, is it? Love, acceptance, safety, and unity. Okay, so that said, from this day forward, let us think of this as a new beginning. All that the past is well past. We now, in this new day, think in terms of team. Now this is quirky. I know everybody knows what team means, right? What's team mean?
Together, everybody achieves more.
Together, everyone achieves more, right? You know, it's quirky, but it's true. That's why you have teams. One person can't do it all. In all successful sports teams, you find two components: team chemistry, team culture. Now, we'll talk about the culture. Now we want to form the chemistry. Chemistry is when you just get used to working together. You know, a lot of you here on the worship team, I thought worship was awesome today, by the way.
Yeah.
You know, God just kind of took over and blew me here. And I don't know about anybody else, but I was really lost in Him. But that chemistry comes from working together, flowing together. You know what this person's going to do. You know what this person's going to do, and that develops. Chemistry is, if this is going to happen, we know how people are going to respond. So let's talk about as leaders. You know, everybody here, and we've got some that could be here tonight, some that's not. As leaders, we have to have something called poise. How many of you know what poise is? What's poise, Carla?
Poise is a grace that you stand in. No matter what happens, you're going to be calm and stoic and collected.
Right. First time I heard or read, it's been a long time ago, about poise, was a pastor of a large church. It ran several thousand. Something terrible happened in the church. I mean, the money came crashing down. They lost half the congregation in a night. He walked into his board meeting. They had people in there. I mean, they had loans out in millions of dollars. I mean, people were talking about, I mean, everybody, they were looking at maybe next week having no one in the church. I mean, it was bad. They said the pastor came in, put his feet up on the table, looked around and smiled at everybody and said, boys, it's going to be okay. That's poise. You know what happened? It was okay. They made it. When you're a leader, you can't never, no matter what happens, you can't never lose your poise. You can't never get in. I mean, if everybody else out there is falling apart, oh, it's going to be, you have to stand here. You have to be the one to put your feet up and say, it's going to be okay. I mean, you know, we went through a lot in this house, and it's always been okay. We're always going to make it. We're always going to get through it. I don't care what comes, hell or high water. We are always going to make it, and it's always going to be okay. But when you do that, believe me, they look to you. They look at your facial expressions. They look at what's coming out of your mouth. They want to see that it's going to be okay. And as long as you look like it's okay, it's going to be okay. That's poise. So we want always, as leaders, when they look at us, it's going to be fine. I mean, it's not going to mean you have to walk around like a robot. You know, you can have some emotion, but you don't ever lose it. You don't ever lose your grip. You don't ever get down in despair. You don't ever get too high or too low. You know, how many of you know that we're going to have some services that blow the roof off the place? We're going to have others that, as far as we know, we didn't see a miracle happen. But I'll never forget, Oral Roberts said this years ago. Oral Roberts said, in every meeting, and how many know that this was in that great tent revival days when they had outstanding miracles. He said the greatest miracles were always the ones you couldn't see. And there's always miracles happening. Let me tell you something. Our God don't show up like He did today and not something happen.
Right.
It may not be visible to your natural eyes what happened, but God did something. When God comes, He always does something. And we can trust in that. Let's see. Let me read this. As leaders, we must understand everything we do affects everything and everyone around us, the good or the bad. Every word, every thought, every look, and every action. So we always want to be cognizant of that. As far as teams, you know, when you think about a team, and this is what we want to think. I mean, it's ridiculous. We live in the great state of Alabama, got the greatest football team on the planet, the University of Alabama. Seriously, they are. Whether you're an Auburn fan or not, you have to say that's the benchmark. That is the benchmark of college football, is at Alabama, University of Alabama. And they take young men in there every year from all kind of backgrounds, all kind of different cultures, and they mold them into one person. Surely the church can do that better. Surely we can be better. If Nick Saban can do it, surely we can do it better. You know, the quarterback, if you ever seen an Alabama quarterback throw an interception and run across the field, because a lot of times when he throws that interception, guess what? The wide receiver ran the wrong route. How many know in game college football, they have to throw the ball to a spot. They're not throwing to the person, they're throwing to a spot. And if that receiver goes to a different route, that ball will be intercepted. How many have noticed you've never seen an Alabama quarterback run over there and grab a wide receiver by the throat and fall across it? It's your fault. Never happens. How many of you know that quarterback gets sacked? I don't care if he gets sacked 15 times. You've never seen him get up there and grab one of those linemen and start pointing his finger. How many of you ever watched a football game when the other team starts falling apart and the announcer says they've lost their voice? And you see that on the sideline, you start seeing them pointing fingers. What happened? That team is beat. Don't care what quarter it is, that team is already defeated on it because they turn on one another. So as a team, we want to make sure that we are a team, that we are just like them. Guess what? If somebody drops the ball, we cover that person. We never point the finger. We just go up, we line up, and we go to the next play. That's what you do. Forget that. Don't matter if it's a bad play, don't matter if it's a good play. That play's over with, you go to the next thing. You know, we keep moving forward as a team. We do this, we will be successful. I mean, no, we will be successful if we operate this way. And we're going to operate this way. So as a team, we will begin to say things like, we will fix it. How many of it bothers me as a pastor, and I've heard this, and I correct everybody out here saying, they'll say, what are y'all going to do? First thing I tell them is, what do you mean, what are y'all going to do? What are we going to do? Ain't you a member of this church? It's we, it ain't y'all. Then they'll say, what are they going to do? I always tell them, it ain't they, it's we, buddy. You're a member of this house, it's we, it ain't they. What are you going to do? It's what we going to do. So we want to develop that, the language of we. Is the language of we. We will fix it. We will figure it out. We will do better next time. We messed up. We will correct it. We did good. We are the best. We are working to be better each and every week. That's what we do. Amen? As team players, we see what needs to be done, and we do it. Who gets the credit does not matter. You know, I forget who it was, Andrew Carnegie, one of the great wealthy billionaires of the years past, said he said a lot can get done when people don't care who gets the credit. You ever thought about that? A lot gets done when nobody cares who gets the credit. You know, the only one that really deserves any credit is Jesus, right? So we don't care if anybody gets the pat on the back. You know, if the worship team does good, guess what? The worship team did great. It wasn't, oh, did you see the one individual up here? They did great. How many, if you're not that one individual, how many of you will feel good about that? But everybody feels good about when the worship team did great, because everybody knows they did their part. Right? We did great. We did great. All right. When we as a team are preparing for a meeting, let's use Sunday morning as an example, we want to take time Saturday night to meditate on that meeting, see ourselves in whatever position we hold, performing at our absolute best, and seeing the people we are ministering to performing at their best. And you may think that's silly. Let me tell you something. That same benchmark in college football, they have a team psychologist that works with their guys 24/7. He's one of the best in the field, excellent. And one of the things they taught those players to do is before every game, they play that game in their mind. They play their position in their mind. They see them, if it's a wide receiver, that wide receiver runs those routes in his mind. He catches the ball in his mind. He scores the winning touchdown in his mind. Every player goes through his position. Why? Because they found out if you mentally prepare, you're into it. You say, well, you know what? They're not going to stand up. They're not going to worship. Well, guess what? That's your mental picture. Then guess what? You've got a tone set in your mind, and you're going to get what you believe for. But guess what? If you begin to believe for people actively engaged, people loving each other, people walking around hugging each other's necks, smiles and joy in the house of God, if the people that are here don't do it, guess what? God's going to answer the cry of your heart and send people to will. So begin to take time every Saturday night before the Sunday morning meeting. Begin to see yourself doing what you do. Begin to imagine scenarios that might come up and how you're going to handle those scenarios. And it'll do better. I started doing it. I try to see every Sunday. I try to sit there. It's hard. It's hard to try to get that image in your mind. But I try to see the service going the way I want it to go, or what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do certain things. And it helps. You'll perform better. Okay? We need to ask the Holy Spirit to help us. We'll talk about the way we think for just a minute. And then I just want to, do y'all have any questions up to this point? Anybody got any comments? Dr. Hartsfield? You got anything? Brother Wayne? Sister Kim, anybody got any comments or questions? All right. Let's talk about thinking for a moment. We need to ask the Holy Spirit to help us move from being cognizant of our thoughts, words, and action to being conscious of our thoughts, words, and actions. What's it mean to be cognizant and conscious? You ever thought about that? You come in here and somebody makes you mad, makes you feel a certain way. Cognizantly, you may say, well, you know what, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. I'm going to tell him how I think. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say that, and I'm going to feel so much better after I see that, say that. That's cognizant. How many of you know we can all be cognizant? Conscious is, somebody makes me mad, and I think about, before I say something, I think about how it's going to affect everyone else. If I say this, I may feel better for a minute, but so Sister Sally sitting back there, she hears me do that, how's Sister Sally going to feel? You know, how's it going to affect Sister Sally? How's it going to affect the next 10 minutes in the service? How's it going to affect so-and-so? How's it going to affect all these other people if I do that? If you're conscious, you'll know how to affect them. And you won't do it. You won't do it. How many of you know that ever wish people were conscious instead of just cognizant? Right? You have to be. How many of you have ever been in a job situation where your boss is really riding you? You know, and you wanted to say something, but you didn't. You know what was the difference was? You was conscious. You knew, okay, yeah, I can say this, but I may get fired. Or that boss may not fire me, but that boss will make sure I don't get a promotion, or will make sure that I get the extra work, or this will not be good if I say this. That's being conscious. Now, if we can be conscious out there, we can be conscious in here. And we need to be conscious in here of what my actions, my thoughts, my nonverbal communication, what message am I sending to people? We need to be conscious of that at all times. Amen? I think that's about it. I think that wasn't a lot, was it? That too? Now, let's talk about it. That's short, but I want it to be short because I know y'all have been here all day. Secondly, I want it to be short because we can remember this. It don't do me no good to hand, if I hand you 15 pages of notes, what's going to happen? You're going to go home, lay on the table, and you'll never look at it properly. But we can remember what two things do we want to accomplish from tonight, for the next month. What do we want to practice? Love. We want to establish culture.
Yes.
What's our culture?
Love, acceptance,
Safety, and unity. We can work on those four things. That every time we come here, especially as leaders, we set the tone for love. When we come in here, I know it's hard because we come in here and we all got stuff we got to do. Stuff has to get done. But we want to take, in the midst of all that, we want to begin to set the atmosphere. You know, come in, smile, hug somebody's neck. Begin to set, I know there's not a lot of people here and everybody's busy doing their stuff, but stop. Take time to hug somebody's neck and say, I love you today. Man, it's going to be good today. It's going to be good. I'm excited. Are you excited? Begin to love on people. begin to set that tone. You know, when we see somebody come in, you know, especially visitors, a church our size, everyone should greet a visitor. Everyone should greet a visitor, a church our size. No one should ever come in here that's a visitor and not everybody speak to them. You say, well, we might overwhelm them. Well, I'd rather overwhelm them than them go out here and say, nobody spoke to me. Because guess what? If you're too busy and I get too busy, it's possible that nobody speaks to a visitor. You know, I know Wade and I go out of our way to try to speak to them. That's time, you know, because of our position. But sometimes, guess what? If we don't speak to them and everybody else is kind of in their own little group, in their own little world, it's very possible that somebody could come in this house and nobody speak to them. You know what's going to happen at that house? They'll never come back. They'll never come back. So we want to, you know, we want to try to learn their names. Let's all try to do better. I'm really working on that name thing. You know, because I've walked around here for years, and I'm terrible with names. Well, I quit saying that. I'm going to get better with names. I'm going to remember people's names. Because that's important. We want to go up, we want to get their name, we want to talk to them, we want to make sure they get a visitor card, and we want to do it in a way that's not, here, fill us up. You know, we don't want to do that. We want to hear, we'd like to, would you fill this out for us? We want to have a record of your visit. It would be okay if we contacted you, and then we want to follow through with that contact. So that's acceptance. Safety is, remember, that safety is for people that have been here a while. That, you know, we want people to step out. I talked to several people today as I was going up to them, looking them in the eye, and the Holy Spirit would touch me, and I said, you've had words, haven't you? You know, Michelle, you know, I spoke to Michelle today, and God just spoke to me, and I said, you've been sitting back here and you've had words come to you, haven't you? She said, I have, and she said, I'd even talked to Michael about it. I said, I want you to raise your hand, and I want you to give that word. It's safe. It's safe. I mean, you know, when we see somebody like Michelle, Ricky, I want to see Ricky step out there, you know. Because Ricky, I remember the word Ricky gave one Sunday years ago. Y'all remember that? Over that changed the whole course of the meeting. Because when people that don't usually talk, people usually listen. So we want those people. That happened to I think another person too today. Did y'all get any words for people as you were ministering today? Different ones? Did anybody get that? We want to encourage people to begin to activate their gifts. You know, I told the elders today, you know, when no matter what I'm doing, no matter what the order of the altar is, when you're moving around out there, you have liberty. You know, prophet has liberty to minister any way God lays on your heart. You know what I'm saying? To begin to minister to somebody. If you go up, you get a word of knowledge for somebody, you get that word of knowledge. You know, if somebody needs a healing, you minister that healing. If God speaks to you about somebody and you know, they're going through something, you know, use that word of knowledge. That's what the ministry is. As we begin to minister as a body, you're going to see more and more of those gifts activated. You're going to see more and more people's gifts activated as they move out there. So we're developing the culture. So culture don't happen overnight. Culture is something you have to just ingrain. As leaders, we have to remind each other, no, this is the culture. If you believe it, you're going to be tested. Somebody's going to come in here new. They're from another place. And believe me, that they've come from a culture where everybody talks about everybody, and they're going to want to try to bring it in here. And you, as a leader, you have to be the one, not ugly. You don't have to be ugly in no way. You have to be ugly. All you just have to do is simply say, you know what, we don't do that around here. And they'll, I promise you, they'll drop it just like that right there. I promise you, they'll drop it just like that. Because they know better. They know that ain't right in any church. They know that. But culture has to be established. Culture is, we don't do that. You know, we don't, you know, if they bring up, don't even let them talk bad about the church they came from. If they start talking bad about the people in that church, guess what? They're going to start talking bad about the people in this church. Just tell them, look, we just don't do that. You know, we're happy you're here. God bless them. Bless that house. We're glad you're here, but we just don't do that. We build that. That's part of our culture. So love, acceptance, safety, and unity. Acceptance means if somebody comes in here and guess what, they're homosexual. Don't mean we accept the homosexual lifestyle. But we accept them. We accept that you're here. You came here to visit this church. You know that we're not a gay church. There's nothing out there that says we're gay, right? So you came in here to hear the word. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought we were going to be like you've heard other churches. We're going to be homophobic. We're not going to be homophobic. We accept you. We love you. You're going to hear the truth. We don't believe that